The empath's awakening. When your sensitivity becomes your superpower, have you ever felt like you see too much, feel too deeply, like you're carrying the weight of everyone else's emotions while your own voice gets quieter and quieter? Here's something that might change everything you believe about yourself. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's actually one of the most powerful gifts you could ever possess. Carl Jung, one of history's greatest psychologists, spent decades studying people just like you. He discovered something remarkable that challenges everything society tells us about kindness and strength. The people who feel the most deeply aren't the weakest people in the room. They're often the most perceptive, the most intelligent, and ultimately, the most resilient. Think about this for a moment. While others miss the subtle shifts in conversation, you're reading microexpressions. While others take words at face value, you're understanding the emotions beneath them. While others see only the surface, you're mapping entire emotional landscapes. Jung realized that empaths aren't just feeling emotions randomly. They are processing information at an extraordinary level. Your brain is wired differently, designed for pattern recognition in human behavior that most people never develop. What society dismisses as being too sensitive is actually advanced emotional intelligence in action. But here's where it gets really interesting. Jung discovered that empaths often spend years doubting themselves. Every time you voiced what you saw, the inconsistencies, the hidden pain, the unspoken truths, someone probably told you that you were imagining things, being dramatic or overthinking everything, so you learned to be quiet. You learned to apologize for your perceptions. You convinced yourself that maybe you were wrong, even when everything inside you screamed that you were right. This is the moment I want you to really hear this. You weren't wrong. You were just surrounded by people who couldn't see what you could see. Jung found that empaths don't break down from feeling too much. They struggle when they're constantly told their feelings are invalid. The pain doesn't come from your sensitivity. It comes from suppressing your truth. And here's the beautiful part. There comes a moment in every empath's journey when something shifts. Maybe it's a betrayal that finally opens your eyes. Maybe it's exhaustion from carrying everyone else's burdens. Maybe it's just reaching a point where you realize you can't abandon yourself anymore. This isn't about becoming hard or cold. It's about something far more powerful, integrating all parts of yourself. Your kindness and your boundaries, your compassion and your wisdom, your ability to love others and yourself. Jung called this transformation shadow integration. The moment when you stop hiding the parts of yourself you were taught to suppress. Your intelligence, your strength, your right to say no, your ability to see through manipulation and walk away from it. What happens when an empath finally honors their own perceptions? Jung documented something extraordinary. They become unstoppable, not in an aggressive way, not through cruelty or revenge, but through something far more powerful: clarity coupled with action. Imagine this: you've spent years absorbing other people's moods, solving their problems, excusing their behavior, and putting their needs before your own. Then one day you realize that your gift of deep perception doesn't have to mean accepting everything you perceive. You can see someone's pain and recognize that it's not your responsibility to fix it. You can understand why someone behaves badly and still choose not to tolerate it. You can feel empathy for someone's struggles and maintain firm boundaries. This is what Jung called becoming consciously empathetic. You're still deeply caring, but now you're strategic about where that care flows. You're still sensitive, but now you're selective about what you allow into your emotional space. The transformation doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means becoming more fully yourself, the version of you that existed before the world taught you to shrink, to apologize, to doubt your own knowing. And here's what makes this journey so beautiful. When you start trusting your perceptions completely, everything changes. You stop second-guessing yourself in conversations. You recognize manipulative behavior immediately and simply step away from it. You build relationships with people who actually deserve your energy. You become what Jung observed in his most successful cases: an integrated empath, someone with both the sensitivity to understand everyone and the wisdom to protect yourself from anyone who would abuse that understanding. Think about the ripple effects this creates. When you stop enabling dysfunction in your relationships, the healthy people in your life celebrate your growth. The unhealthy ones reveal themselves by trying to pull you back into old patterns. Your presence alone becomes a mirror that reflects truth. You're not trying to change anyone. You're simply refusing to participate in dynamics that diminish you. And that quiet strength, it's magnetic to authentic people and repelling to manipulators, which is exactly how it should be. Jung's research showed that transformed empaths often become extraordinarily successful, not because they've become ruthless, but because they learn to trust their emotional intelligence as the sophisticated guidance system it actually is. They make better decisions. They build healthier relationships. They create lives that align with their true values. Your sensitivity was never the problem. The problem was believing you needed to suppress it to be acceptable to others. So here's your invitation. What if you stopped apologizing for seeing what others can't see? What if you started trusting that inner knowing that's been trying to guide you all along? What if you realized that your empathy, combined with healthy boundaries, makes you not vulnerable but powerful? You don't have to wait for a dramatic breaking point. You can choose integration right now. You can honor both your capacity to care and your right to protect yourself. The world needs empaths who have found their backbone, people who can feel deeply without losing themselves, individuals who can love generously while maintaining their integrity. That's you. That's who you're becoming. And Jung's research proves it. The awakened empath isn't a person who feels less. There's someone who feels everything and chooses everything with complete consciousness. Your sensitivity isn't your weakness. It never was. It's your superpower, waiting for you to finally claim it.